Hey guys, it's me, Rohan Singh, and today I'm going to talk about a book. Now this book is similar to the book I talked about in my last video. This book also contains many sample papers and is a book which I think is going to help many children in acing their board exams in the end of the academic year. This book, Sample Papers, the combined one. This, in my opinion, is one of the best sample paper books which you can buy. Now, I'll agree that this book is a little bit expensive and is more on the pricey side. It's of 500 rupees in most of the places where you can find it. So for any child out there who has some trouble, understanding all the different concepts in the class 10th and is really worried about getting good marks or at least acing the board exams, then I suggest you use this book, as it will clear up most of the concepts. Now, let's get straight into the video now that we've given the introduction. The first point which I'm going to discuss is value for money. Now, as I brought up in my introduction, this book is of 500 rupees, where in the most places where you can find it, it's costly most of the time if you compare it to the other books that are out there or similar to it. Now, you may think that, okay, if this book is this costly, then it must be really good. And if you think that, then you're right, because this book is actually really good. Like, the content which it gives you is pretty important. It has sample papers of pretty much every subject out there, so you'll be covered. And many other companies just make sample papers for one subject. This is pretty much an all-in-one. That's one of the best way I can describe it. It's an all-in-one sample papers. It has sample papers of everything, anything which you want. Any important question is in this book. So yes, the quality of the book more than makes up for its high price. The second thing which I'm going to discuss is many sample papers. Similar to the point which I brought up earlier, this book has pretty much every single sample paper out there. It has more than 10 sample papers at the very least. I can guarantee you that. And I can also say that if you want to ace your board exams, correctly solving and understanding 10 sample papers is more than enough. If you solve all these sample papers, the probability of you getting at the very least 94 plus is pretty high. These sample papers also include answers. The answers also very well written. The third point which I'm going to discuss is well-made answers. Now, it's not like this book just gives you the sample papers and then just doesn't provide any sort of explanation or answers. No, it's not like that. There's some sample papers in this book which are unsolved, I agree, but there are a few of them, and the answers to those unsolved question papers can be found on the website which is given in this book. So it's not like you won't ever find the answers to those question papers. You'd have to go to the website of this book and then find out what the sample paper is, and you'll get the answers, including the steps, which is pretty important. With that said, I'll say that the answers which are provided are actually pretty well written. They are meaningful. It's not like they skip over some points and then straight go to the actual main point, when people know that you have to first introduce the question, set it up, and then write this main steps, because CBSE gives quite a lot of marks for steps, and if you don't write steps properly, then you're going to lose marks unnecessarily. And as a result, writing the steps in the best manner which you can is pretty important for acing the board exams. In that regard, the answers to this book prepare you pretty well for writing those type of answers, so it will give you good marks in the exam. And now the fourth and the last thing which I'm going to talk about is easy to understand. One of the other main concerns with these type of books is that they are quite hard to understand and are usually written by writers who think that writing professionally will make it seem like the book is of high quality, when what actually dictates that the book is of high quality or not is how easy it is, how easy it is to understand, but still if it provides any good meaningful insight into the subject. And in that regard, I think this book is really easy to read, but it's not like just because it's easy to read means that it has some very easy questions that will not appear in the board exams. But it has many questions which are very important. It has questions which have appeared in the board exams for the past 5-6 years, questions which have the most common rate of showing up. So practicing for those questions is also really important, as those questions carry a lot of marks and are common in their appearance in the board exams. It's pretty easy to understand and will make you confident in your learning ability, especially in that specific subject, which goes a long way in getting good marks in the board exams. And that's it. Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed it, and goodbye.